You're listening to the Watch That Joan podcast.
Yes, you are.
My name is Mary.
I'm James.
Yeah. Stop trying to cut me off, James. It's not going to happen.
Oh, my God. This episode is about to be so fetch, y'all.
Stop trying to make fetch happen, James. It's not going to happen. But, yeah, how was your weekend, mean girl?
The
little slut.
weekend was good. It was totally fetch. Eileen did number 5K. Always.
We need T-shirts.
T-shirts for what?
Of her face. T-shirts of her face just encompassing the globe. And it says, Eileen roams the earth.
It's like, you know how we used to say darkness walks the earth? That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, does it remind you of like a dictator or like it's ominous?
Like a propaganda. This should be her just to like just march.
I like that.
Boom, just walking around here.
We can drop flags during we can drop like little flyers during 5Ks from the sky. Aileen roams the earth. I like that.
But after that, we went and hung out with some friends and went to the parlor. Remember we went there?
Yeah.
Where we had the Liddy brunch that day?
No, what's that?
The Liddy
We had
brunch. The last time you and Donovan were here.
Oh my God. That brunch had me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was embarrassing. I haven't been that drunk in a long time. In a long time. I had a good time though. The food
it was banging.
Was
banging. It was banging every day. We went there.
No, I blame Aileen for that too. Cause remember we had bottomless drinks. Like it wasn't even mimosa. It's like mimosa. Was it all mimosas? I thought it was some sangrias in there too. No, they're Bellinis. There were Bellinis that we had, right? I don't remember, but we had all these drinks. And Aileen was like, "We have to finish them all." We had like 7 glasses left. I'm there like, okay, she's fine. I'm there, literally trying not to die for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, thank God DQ was there and got us home that day.
Oh, you was trash too?
Yeah, no, I had 7 old fashions, man.
Don't you love a designated driver? Don't you love? We was all gone. That was a great time though. Never again. Though.
And then it's funny after that story, we went to church on Sunday, which I haven't been to church in a while, so that was good. It was Palm Sunday, y'all.
Oh, really? Sunday. How was it? It was Palm Sunday. Okay.
How about your weekend?
I went to a wedding.
Nice.
My friend Brian's wedding. He got married to his long-term boyfriend. I don't remember. I think they've been engaged for a while too now. I don't know. Ever since the pandemic, my timeline is just out of whack. So it seems like they've been engaged for a long time when they probably haven't been. But yeah, they finally tied the knot. And
congratulations, Brian.
It was just so sweet. Like the love was literally... It was palpable, very emotional. We all was crying.
Y'all look really nice too from the pictures.
Venue was. Yeah, I ate. I ate. I was worried too because I was worried about if my dress is kind of plain, so I was like, okay, let me bling it up with my hair and nails and accessories, and it came together. I love it when an outfit I planned in my head come together. Yeah. I ate. I slayed. We all look good, but yeah, the venue was gorgeous. I was telling DQ. The reception and the ceremony were in the same place, but I was like, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like we're in an entirely different room. Yeah, I was like, this place is very versatile. It was just quite beautiful. So yeah, I had a great weekend.
I'm happy to hear it. So what are we reviewing today, Mary? We kind of dropped hints on it, but
I mean, we said it several times, guys. We're doing Mean Girls.
The 2024 musical version.
Yeah, the 2024 musical. So we all know the 2004 Mean Girls with Tina Fey, Lindsay Lohan, not Regina George. What is this girl's name? Oh my God. Rachel McAdams. And yeah, everyone else. It's literally a cult classic. And I'm not saying that facetiously. It literally is a cult classic. October 3rd is a thing. On Wednesdays we were pink. It's a thing.
It's
Mean Girls shaped my life in a way that it's crazy. It's a cultural.
So why do you think the original was so stinking good? What do you think?
Because it's hilarious. It's hilarious and it's really factual. It really kind of just showed us why girls feel like we cannot get along with one another. And it's always the underlining theme. Well, not always, but a lot of times for young girls, the underlining theme always has to do something with just competing for a man.
No, I think you're right. It was showing, because this came out in 2004, right? So this is way before we were in high school, right? I came in high school
in 2004. How old were you?
In 2007, I went to Northeast. No, 2006, I went to Northeast. So I was in 6th grade when this movie came out. So we were just,
I was 10.
Right. So I was probably 12. So like, when this movie came out, it glorified high school, but also made it seem terrible at the same time, you know? And
I didn't watch it when it first came out because I don't think I was old enough. I loved Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, we did because we loved her.
And my favorite Lindsay Lohan movie when it came out was Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. But then one day, my cousin Shawnee, she was like, have you seen Mean Girls? I was like, no. She was like, it's so funny. She was like, I remember. It was like Thanksgiving or something. We were sitting at Granny's dining room table, and she was like, it's so funny. I watched it. I said, oh, my God.
Mean Girls, there's few movies that can be funny watching them now. I think like White Chicks is one of those movies too, right? You watch it and you just dying the whole time.
White Chicks is still funny, y'all. I thought it would have aged. There's only one or two things that I'm like, it's a little distasteful, but White Chicks is still hilarious. Superbad is still funny.
Superbad is funny. It is. Super funny.
What do you think is funnier, Mean Girls or Superbad?
I think Superbad was probably like laugh for laugh funnier the first time I seen it, but I think Mean Girls has been more memorable for me. I think I could watch Mean Girls more than I could watch Superbad.
Dog, put on Mean Girls anything. I'm sitting down, I'm watching, I'm quoting the whole movie. But you know what's so funny? My hairstylist said she'd never seen it before. And she's a few years older than me. She was like, oh, what's that? She literally never heard of it before. From Philly. She's from Philly. But this girl, I don't think she really got out much. She said she never been to Insomnia.
The cookies. She never had no sleepy cookies. Insomnia.
She went to it the first time.
You need those sleepy cookies.
And then she was like, she had wedding cake not too long ago. And I'm like, where have you been at? I hope she don't hear this. I'm like, we're on the shop. Like, what? Like, what are you saying? Like, Mean Girls they made it into a musical, and just like The Color Purple, this movie is an adaptation of the Broadway.
Yep, exactly, not the original movie. And I barely knew it was a musical before I watched it. I normally don't like to look up movies before we review it because I want to kind of come in fresh.
They didn't market it as a musical.
It was like Mean Girls. And then I saw it, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting the 2004 version, right? Because a 20-year gap. Mm-hmm. And it was like Mean Girls, a musical. And I'm like, is that the one I want? And I clicked on it, and the musical opens up with the first song.
But to go back to that, like, it was purposely hidden from us that it was a musical as much as possible. And I actually watched this long video essay by this YouTuber called Mina Lay, who I like a lot, about why people hate musicals. And that's one thing she said. Like, literally everyone was just kind of like, no one knew it was a musical until they got into the theater. They were like, what? They're singing? So, the first song comes on. And
a cautionary tale.
How did you feel about it?
Yeah, the first song comes on and is recorded on an iPhone camera, right? And it's sung by, the real people are
Alihi. No, I said it wrong. Alihi. No H.
Yeah, Alihi.
Yeah.
Carvalho. And
Carvalho.
And Jaquel Spivey. So you know who Alihi is, right?
That is Janice.
Yes, but you know where you know her voice from?
Yeah. No.
I am Moana.
That's fucking Moana?
It is.
Wow, she can sing her ass off too.
And I saw it. I was listening to her voice. I'm like, her voice sounds familiar, and she was one of the best singers in the whole thing, right?
And they really showed it too. Literally, they gave her so many opportunities to sing, and that's one good thing about it. Everyone who sung, they sounded good. They sounded good. But I'm gonna tell you what my favorite song in the movie is later.
But as soon as it started, I was immediately disappointed.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
song,
oh my God.
It was like a little catchy. It was like a cautionary tale, and they're talking about how, someone died. He's like, she didn't really die, but she got hit by a bus. It was like a preview of the show, of the movie, which I wasn't expecting. And then they cut into the second song, which is What If? And that's by Katie. That's Katie's song.
Katie. No,
yes,
it is
that's
Katie.
Her song,
it is Katie.
Right?
I'm gonna call you Katie.
And it started. She like was in the Serengeti somewhere, and it just was weird. I'm like, there's no.
That's one thing about them. Did they ever say in either movies what part of Africa
she said she's from Kenya?
In?
She's from Kenya.
Kenya. Okay. Did they say it in the 2004 movie? Do you remember?
I remember she was in Africa.
Yeah. You know what they didn't say in this movie?
What?
If you're from Africa, why are you white?
Yeah. No, they cut out a lot of stuff.
But jumping back to the cautionary tale, it took me out of it too. I was like, oh boy, because I'm just kind of like, in my mind, musicals doesn't equal mean. So automatically it seemed
The Color
too
Purple.
cheerful.
Well, I guess The Color Purple was mean as ish, and it was a musical.
Unless it's about very
Sweeney Todd,
dark topics,
yeah,
like
Les Mis.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. Like it just the music was just too poppy. I guess the quality of music was poppy. Yeah, you have music and sad musicals, but it's not like pop songs. Like that sounded like a pop song, and just even like I don't know how the way it started, and how do I say it? Like I was like, oh well, there's I don't know. Because when I think about how Mean Girls started,
the original one,
the 2004 movie, it didn't seem mean, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. This one was just kind of like, okay, we're singing. And they're telling a cautionary tale, but I was still like, it kind of took me out of it. It kind of seemed like they were trying to like water it down a little bit and make it not hurt too many people's feelings, and that's how I felt about the entire movie. But yeah, I was a bit deflated. I was like, oh God, this is a musical. And I like musicals. I actually do enjoy musicals, but I always have this feeling when a song comes on, I'm like, ugh, just for a few seconds, and it's like, ooh, this is actually a really good song, and I get into it. But as soon as the next song play, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Oh, this is a great song. I love this. It's always that. So, but this was like, I didn't think the music was that good in this one. But the singing was incredible.
The singing was good. And I think, because I didn't think the songs were that good either until I went on YouTube and I saw that all these songs have like 2 million views. So people are just like eating up this stuff, like these music videos and everything, because the movie just released to DVD, right? Well, our version of DVD streaming, right? And I think when I watched the songs independent of the movie, I realized I appreciate them a little more than when they're in the middle of the movie. Because in the middle of the movie, you're trying to get the story.
So what, you just went on YouTube and watched those same scenes?
Just the songs, the singing portion of it, right?
Okay.
And the other song, Meet the Plastics by Renee Rapp, so Regina George's song, when she was like,
oh, I'm Regina George. I'm a massive deal.
I am
or something like that.
Yeah. When she sung that, all right, I was just, my whole thought was in the movie was, I don't care who you are. Like, I don't know. She didn't seem like the Regina George in 2004, in my opinion, was a smoke show. This girl was obviously really pretty. Renee Rapp is really pretty. But like, I was expecting when they like show it, when she was walking with cheese fries, she put it on the table and did the slow reveal. I was expecting someone we would recognize as Regina George. and then
What do you mean, like an actor?
Yeah, like a well-known actor. I guess the actors we kind of know are older, right? But like,
who would you like to see as Regina George besides Rachel McAdams?
Yeah.
I honestly think Ariana Grande would kill Regina George.
I think Ariana Grande, she would have killed Regina George.
I think she would.
She would have.
Yeah. If she was black, freaking Gabrielle Union would. If she was black and you know, if Gabby was younger, Gabrielle Union would kill Regina
Zendaya.
George. She's the perfect Mean Girls. Zendaya seems so sweet to me. I guess I never seen her like a mean
She plays
role.
mean all the time. She just has a mean face.
She's a drug addict.
You said she's a drug addict.
What does she play mean? Oh, I thought you were going to say Euphoria. I was like, she's a drug addict.
Well, Euphoria, she seems mean. Even in Spider-Man, like, she's kind of like...
She doesn't seem mean. She seems sarcastic.
So I can see her just being mean, like...
Not mean.
You know?
Yeah, but going back to... what's that song by... Let me see.
Regina George?
Going back to What If by Angourie Rice, a.k.a. Katie, a.k.a. Caddy. I'm going to call her Caddy from now on. That whole scene was really weird to me. Like, it was just... I don't even know how to describe it. Like, also our girl, Pam from The Office, Jenna Fisher was in the movie. She looks
so old now. It makes me sad. Because that means I'm old. She looks so
look old to you?
Because Pam was always cute and, like, hot. And
I think she's still cute.
Then it's like...
I didn't think she was... I thought she was very adorable. I thought she was... Not to come at the actress at all, but I feel like her character didn't give hot to me. It came relatable. Obviously pretty. Obviously beautiful. But, like, you know, in a dorky, more approachable kind of way. And that's what Jim loved about her. She was kind of like the girl next door, you know. But... Because he didn't like very over the top... I don't know, more sexy girls. But anyway, we're going way off topic. But I don't know, that whole scene was weird. Like, Caddy singing, and then her mother comes up and she's like, hey, it's unfair to you that we're staying here in Kenya. We should go to America. And before she even finished her sentence, Caddy just runs off. And it was weird. Like, when she was talking to Caddy, Caddy wasn't looking at her. And I understand she was like, processing what was going on, but it just seemed weird. It just seemed weird and out of place. And I was like, what's going on? Maybe if I watched the movie the second time, I could explain how I was feeling. But that whole scene was strange. And I was like, oh man, this seems like straight to DVD.
Yeah, I thought this could have been.
But that's Mean Girls 2.
I haven't seen Mean Girls 2 either. I thought that this movie could have went straight to Netflix, streaming only. And it would have, But the thing is, it's such a cult classic. They knew people will at least watch it in some capacity.
My thing is, this isn't a bad movie. It just doesn't touch the original Mean Girls.
I disagree.
And I tried to watch it without comparing it to Mean Girls, but it's hard to do. No, I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just not Mean Girls. It's not so even close to Mean Girls.
I'm like, why am I watching this? Like...
But I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just it just seemed like an upgraded Disney Channel type movie. Like sometimes it was a little too cheesy.
Well, they didn't.
But I don't think
like
it was a bad
most
movie.
of the dialogue was almost word for word as the original, but they didn't deliver it. It wasn't funny at all. You know, like
yeah. Like I have a heavy flow in a wide vagina.
No,
I didn't laugh at all. Well, it was gross the first time, but I'm going to say it. Call me controversial, but why didn't you get a big girl to say that? In the original, she was like, everyone thinks I'm not a virgin because I have to wear super jumbo tampons. But it's not my fault that I have a wide flow and a heavy set vagina. And literally, the principal's face, who played
Tim
the principal?
Meadows, and he was in all 3 movies, apparently.
Yeah, Tim Meadows' face. I remember in college, I watched it with my friend Naya. And the camera cut to his face. We started screaming. He looked so uncomfortable. His face literally said, what the like, we started screaming. This one, I was like, you should have made her say something else. You should have made her say something else. Because my thing is, like, the part of the joke was how the way she said it in 2004. And it's the fact that she was bigger. Like, I don't think it's, you know... and I can say this because I'm not a dainty thing myself, but I don't think it's bad to. I don't think big people will be like, I don't know, mad about poking fun at them a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we know what it is. But yeah, but that's overall. I just feel like the movie was too freaking nice to be Mean Girls, but I don't think it was a bad movie.
I don't know. I didn't really like it at all. Only thing I did like is when I found out that I don't know why I'm trying to pronounce her name. Janice. Yes, when I found out that Janice, right, was the same actor that played the voice actor Moana, then I started liking her songs instantly more, right? And she had a bunch of songs. She actually had the most songs. It looks like she did A Cautionary Tale. Then she did Apex Predator.
Apex Predator, literally, it really did. That song really did disappoint me. But let's let me talk about Apex Predator. I remember the same version. So pretty much this scene, Apex Predator is the scene directly from the original movie. So pretty much in the original movie, Regina, Caddy, Karen, and what's the other girl's name? The girl who's obsessed.
Karen. Karen is my boobs tells the weather. Oh, you mean the Gretchen.
And Gretchen. Yeah. Gretchen. So they're all walking through the mall, and the whole movie, Gretchen's obsessed with this loser kid. And I think she sees him with another girl, and Regina's like, oh no, that's never going to happen. That's not happening. So what she does is, I think she calls the girl's mom or something like that, and she's like, hello, this is Planned Parenthood calling back with your test results. Please give us a call as soon as you're available. And then she hangs up. And then you see the girl get a call from her mom. And she's like, what? And she runs off. Because all the time, it was either Planned Parenthood or like a health clinic. Because you know what those places, no news is good news. So if they call you... And then she ran off. And I thought that was hilarious and just bitchy and just a terrible thing to do. In this adaptation of the movie, you see Gretchen's love interest and the girl that he's with. They're sitting on a bench and she's sitting like between his legs. And Regina's like, nah. And they start singing. Apex Predator comes on and they sing. All Regina does is go over there, growls at the girl, and the girl runs away.
And then the girl kind of sits in the spot.
And I'm like, okay? She just gave her a look like, wow. And I was like, that wasn't even scary. That was just sexy.
Do you think PC culture ruined the movie?
I hate the term PC culture, but
is it like woke? Well, also people use the word wrong.
I'm gonna say it again. White people stop saying woke. I was literally saying this weekend. Stop saying woke. You don't know what it means. Shut up. Please stop saying it. But I think it did. Like, one thing that I noticed is like, well, let me preface this. I understand why we are trying to be more sensitive. I think it's a good thing. We shouldn't make things that hurt people because they have real world consequences. You know what I mean? Sorry guys, my nose is running.
Gross.
But if we only show black people in the movies going to jail, getting pregnant, getting shot, that has real life consequences where literally they're treated as criminals or treated as less than or like bad parents. You know what I mean? Like, if we only show gay men as being super flamboyant and feminine, in the real world, people see a gay man and think he's less manly, and disrespect him or like not see him as the man that he fully is. So I get it because they have real world repercussions. But my thing is, we've seen Mean Girls original, and we know that it's a product of its time, and we learned from that. It's not like we know, maybe we're not the target audience. Maybe that's the thing, because it's like, we know better. We know that it's wrong to slut shame. We know that it's wrong to be homophobic. We know that it's wrong to fat shame. But it was funny. It was funny, funny because we know better. And we're like, oh my God, it's so terrible. It's like watching Family Guy. We watch Family Guy and we know this is awful, but it's hilarious, but we know better. So I'm like, maybe the kids, like, I remember they said that a critique for Barbie was that it was too simplified. And I remember I was listening to this one podcaster and she says, some people need a simplified version of feminism. So maybe we're not the target audience, because my thing is, like, I remember in the 2004 movie, Halloween came around and they said, Halloween's the one time a year where you get to dress like an absolute slut and get away with it. They replaced slut with sexy in this new adaptation. Remember the song that
it was called Sexy.
Karen's character was singing? Yeah, it was called Sexy. And it's like,
I can't pronounce anyone's name in this movie, and I think that's pretty common.
Let me see.
Avantika.
Yes,
apparently
Avantika.
She's a Bollywood actor. I saw she was in a bunch of Bollywood movies. She really is
adorable.
She was, in my opinion, she was the best looking Mean Girl. Best looking plastic.
Her and Regina was tied to me. I saw Regina, I was like, that's a bad bitch. But yeah, they didn't say slut at all. And
they
I'm
said
like,
slut a few times.
I'm just like,
she was like, if you don't dress
slut,
slutty, that makes us feel slutty. That's what they said.
Okay, they said it, but you know what I mean? They changed slut to sexy. Like, they tried to get rid of, like, the slut shaming aspect of it. But I'm like, high schoolers slut shame. If this is a movie about mean girls, there should be slut shaming. And Regina did that once. I remember during the
she was
the
like,
Jingle
how many men
Bell
you slept
Rock
with? You slept with 11 or whatever it is?
No, she so Karen wanted to kind of like show a peekaboo of her bra and the with her outfit for the talent show, which was a thing back in the 2000s, y'all. It was a thing. Like, a peekaboo bra moment was a thing. A peekaboo thong moment with your low-rise jeans, it was a thing. So that was kind of like a callback to, like, the time it came out, the early 2000s. Even I remember when Gretchen said fetch, Regina was like, what? Where did you get that from? And she was like, oh, this old movie in the Juno, or some of her movie back then. And I was like, that's hilarious. But as like a callback to original. But yeah, she was like, I just want to show my bra. I think it'll, really say something. And she was like, what did it say? That she slept with 11 people? And I was like, damn. You know what I mean? That was generally mean, And I think the tone of it was different when they actually showed that this affects the character. Whereas in the original movie, it would have been more comedic. And we just would have laughed about it. But I think now in this movie, they're showing, like, no, saying things like that is wrong. Which I agree with. But it's like I said, we're different. We already know better. So it kind of feels like you're spoon-feeding us.
I think two things, right? I kind of agree with you and kind of disagree. I disagree that we were not the target audience for this movie. For this one. Right? Because this movie... Okay.
We are the target audience, but I guess... We were, because nostalgia sells.
And we know we're going to buy it. But I believe that the message was not for us. We were the target audience, but the message was not for us.
That's better put.
Right? The message was for these kids who are literally going crazy, Gen Z, right? With the Instagram and the social media and Snaps and TikTok. TikTok and Snapface and all those programs, right? That makes the girls feel less than. That's who their audience was, right? So when she said, "Yeah, you slept with 11 guys," and they showed that Karen was legitimately hurt, that was the point, because the point was like, yeah, it's funny and everything, but like, you actually hurt people with what you say, and even I felt like the way that they did tone down, some of the homosexual jokes, they turned down a few other jokes because,
like, Janice didn't say when it was confession time when all the girls were in the gymnasium.
Like, I lesbian love you, I love you so much or whatever.
She was like, maybe because I did it because I'm a raging lesbian who's obsessed with you.
Exactly. That's offensive in 4 different ways, right? Like, it's hilarious.
But it's hilarious. Instead, this new janitor just ran off and aggressively sucked.
That was weird.
Faces. She was literally just running around singing. I was like,
exactly.
She's just singing
she ran into the gym and sung, and would start like got on the bench play, start singing. And the only reason, like, I was like, this is weird. The only reason I didn't hate it is because, I am Moana. That's all I kept thinking about as she was singing. And
she has a beautiful voice, but rebellious singing needs to be done right, or just going to seem very, very corny.
Right. You're right, and that's kind of how I felt, about kind of corny. So speaking of, in the original, right, when Regina is scorned and she's mad and she's pissed off and she realized that those bars were making her fat, she runs, she prints, she went and prints off photocopies of the burn book and posted all over the school.
Well, before she did that, let me back up. I just want to back up. Is that fine?
Well, let me finish my thought and we can back up. Right. So she went and took photocopies and posted photocopies across the school. This movie, she had one copy of the book and left it on the floor. And then I looked at Eileen and I was like, really? Why didn't she do the photocopies? Then I realized no one have a copier anymore. Like, who has a copy machine to start stapling?
Not even at
I don't
school?
know about schools, but like, I have a copier in my house.
I thought she went to the school and made the copy.
Yeah, but original, here she just left the book in the middle of the hallway. And kids took it and took pictures of it.
How small was the school?
Someone saw it and they started gathering and they took pictures of it and they posted it online. So that's how it's.
I guess that's more modern.
That's how it's spread.
Yeah, it's like.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe a version would be her read the book, like, but they didn't want her to like be associated with it, so she did it anonymously. And I was like, wow, that's different. But I can see how online it can spread for people beyond the school. Like your neighbors are gonna know that. Like, you're fugly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is bigger. Is a fugly slut. Do not trust her.
So what were you about to say?
I want to go back to when we first meet Regina George, and she sings the Regina George song. Let me see if I can pull up the lyrics.
Meet the Plastics.
Because I did actually.
That song?
Is that Meet the Plastics? Okay, let me see. She said, "My name is Regina George, and I am a massive deal. Fear me, love me, stand and stare at me, and these are real. I've got money and looks. I am like drunk with power. This whole school humps my leg like a chihuahua. I'm the prettiest poison you've ever seen. I never weigh more than 115. My name is Regina George, and I'm a massive deal. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you feel." Do you think that encompasses the Regina George from the 2004 film? And do you think the Regina George from this film embodies what she said?
She was definitely bigger than 115.
Yeah, she was.
She was definitely.
She was.
No, I didn't mind it either. I think. No, yeah, she definitely.
Good. But one thing that people were complaining about, and it is a petty thing. I watch a lot of video essays on YouTube, but people were saying that we know that the Plastics had money. Did they mention in this film that Gretchen's dad was the creator of Toaster Strudel?
No, they didn't.
They didn't. Man, the kids not eat Toaster Strudels anymore?
I haven't had a Toaster Strudel in like 6-7 years.
Well, that's because we can't eat that much sugar in one meal anymore. Without feeling the effects of it.
Yeah, I haven't had a strudel in a while. And I haven't even seen it. No one eats toaster strudels. Yeah.
So they were saying that, okay, these girls are supposed to come from money. Why are they all wearing Shein and Fashion Nova and fast fashion brands? And it's like, it is true. When Regina George came out, her outfit did eat. It was beautiful.
That
she
leather,
wore the
black leather stuff.
No, it wasn't leather. She had like these.
It was like black tights.
She had like these cargos pants and like a corset top, like this rainbow cotton candy looking corset top. Mm-hmm. I think. I don't know, but I looked at it and I was like, it's cute, but it does look cheap. It is giving fast fashion, and people were upset because it's like these people are supposed to come from money. You know, back in the day, they were sporting actual quality clothes. And you can definitely see the quality difference in the costuming for this movie. But also, it's like, that's what the kids are wearing. I'm not sure about the rich kids, but the thing about these fast fashion brands is that they are very, very trendy. Like, even though the quality's poor, it's very trendy. And if it girls are meant to be trendy, then I can see why they're wearing fast fashion. But I understand being disappointed. It's like, what are you wearing? Like, what? The quality is just a lot. It's just a lot worse. But, yeah. Do you think Regina? So that's one thing where I was just kind of like, the money
she
thing,
had a huge house.
I'm not really getting.
Her house was huge and the room was huge. She had a mansion. Mm-hmm. She had that nice Jeep Wrangler that she drove around. So she obviously had money.
I think that this Regina George showed her insecurity a lot more than Rachel McAdams' Regina George did. Like, even when they went to a Halloween party and
she walked over to...
She was trying to get her ex back. I do not know that man's name.
Aaron, yep.
Aaron back. Aaron. Played by Christopher Briney. And you know who Christopher Briney looks like to me?
Who?
You remember Winning Time, right?
Time.
The show on HBO?
Oh, you think
about the Lakers.
Like a really tall guy?
He looks like the coach that was the English teacher.
Yeah, he also played Marshall and How I Met Your Mother.
And forgetting Sarah Marshall's.
Oh, he did forgetting Sarah Marshall. Is that why he was named Marshall in How I Met Your Mother? Oh.
He looks like Jason Segel.
Yep. I agree a little bit.
To me.
I also thought he looked like the new Green Goblin on
okay, you think he looked like
the second Spider-Man on Garfield's Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. Oh man, what's that kid's name? I know exactly the actor you're talking about. Ooh. Oh my God. Shoots. The Amazing Spider-Man, right?
Ooh, I cannot type. Amazing Spider-Man. 2 villains.
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah. That's what you look like.
I can see that. Yeah.
That's our first.
Yeah, so I can see that. This man looks perpetually tired.
Even though like he didn't play anything else, anything that we know of. Right? This is like his first like really big break.
DQ said he looked like somebody from the It remake too. And I'm like, he does. So he just has a very, I don't know, recognizable face, I guess. But I don't think I've ever seen him.
You also realize that Coach Carr, remember in the original movie he was banging the 2 Asian girls? They didn't bring that back here either.
Yes. That never happened. And I get why, but it's like, come on, it's funny.
Maybe it's not so funny anymore because a lot of teachers got arrested for sleeping with their students recently.
I think the Me Too movement really changed a lot of things, and I get it. But I'm just like, we know better. We know that it's wrong now. Before we didn't. Now we know better. So now that we know that it's wrong, let us have it.
I think if this movie was rated R and they did all those things, not maybe R, but like if it wasn't
R, would have. What is this movie rated? Is it rated PG-13?
It would have been low. If R would have been too much. It would have been like Mean Girls and.
Yeah, it just would have been raunchy and not funny. Yeah. You know what I mean? But going back to what was I saying? So when Caddy arrives in the party and Regina catches wind that Caddy likes her ex, Aaron, and she goes over to Aaron. I remember in the original, Regina goes over to Aaron. And I remember in the original movie, she tried to creep him out. She was like, yeah, she keeps this tissue that you sneezed in your gum in a jar. She didn't say that in this movie to try to weird Aaron out about Caddy liking him.
She got a big crush on you.
Yeah, and this movie, Regina took a much... I don't remember an original, but she took a much more vulnerable approach.
She did. She got him...
Let me see.
She got her mad and then walked away. You know what I mean? She act like she...
The song is called What's Wrong With Me. No, it's not. It's Someone Gets Hurt. Let me see those lyrics. Yes, I look perfect, ice queen. That's all you see. It's what they all expect from me, but it's all a show. Face it, you used me. You saw the sexy clothes, my supermodel pose. What did you know? Was I a game to you? Was I way too cool? 2004 Mean Girl, Regina George would never have said this. So I mean, I get it, but I'm kind of like, why are y'all doing this so early? She's supposed to be mean. Like, and I know a lot of mean people are mean because they're insecure and they have vulnerabilities that they hide with anger because they don't want you to know. But I'm like, that's supposed to be towards the ends. You know what I mean? Like in the 2004 Mean Girls, we saw Regina's vulnerable point when she couldn't fit her clothes anymore because she's been eating all those calcium bars. And she wore sweatpants on a day where they're never wearing sweatpants, and she wanted to sit with the plastics, and they were like, no. And she was like, this is all that fits me right now. That was a vulnerable point. And I think it was placed perfectly because this is a girl. Yeah, she might have been insecure, but she was just an asshole. That was just her. And I like that. I kind of like that. And I'm just like, you're kind of showing her vulnerability cards too early. And once again, this movie is called Mean Girls. Why isn't Regina more mean?
Well, I think because it's a musical. When you have a musical, you can peer into someone's.
We can make mean songs. We can make mean songs. No, I don't know. We could have did something like, "Look at me, you want me. I'm that girl." Like,
well, I'm saying.
What was you? It could have been a mean song.
Remember when you did The Color Purple, and what you said you were most.
No, I don't remember.
You were most excited. Shut up. When you were most excited, you said that you wanted to understand how Celie felt inside when all the bad things were happening to her, because she could do different. It through song.
I want Regina.
I know, but I'm saying if the reason why she could be mean, the reason why she was like that, was because of insecurities, was because she was sexualized, was because like she was being what everyone expected her to be.
And that's fine. I guess it was just kind of too early to me. And she wasn't mean enough. She never seemed mean to me. She just seemed kind of annoying. She seemed like she had a short fuse, but she never seemed mean to me.
Even in the original, in my opinion, I thought that Katie was always the meanest one.
She became the meanest one because she was mocking Regina.
No,
Regina was
I'm
terrible.
not saying mean to her friends, but to go and to sabotage someone's life off of a petty argument.
Janice was very mean. Yeah, Janice was mean too. Janice was mean. They were all mean girls. And I liked it because that's how they be, especially in high school. Yeah, they were all mean. Like, even in the gymnasium when Tina Fey's character says, raise your hand if someone's ever talked about you behind your back. Everyone raise their hands. Now raise your hand if you ever talked about someone else behind their back. Everyone raised their hand.
And she was like, basically, stop being a victim and take accountability for what you do. You know. And Tina Fey was the constant in it, right? She was the constant in it. So, Mary,
I did not like Jenna Fischer's performance.
She was barely
in
this
movie.
It.
It seems a little flat, but I know she was barely in it. But I remember it being flat and remarkable. It just wasn't good. But even when she was mad at
when she found out about the party and she failed school, she did I felt like, why didn't you be like, you're grounded, go to your room? Why didn't you like yell at her or whatever?
Not even that. It just maybe I don't think it's what he said. I think it's just how she said it. It just didn't seem believable to me at all. But one part that did have me cracking up was remember during the talent show when
the Indian guy when he was dancing?
When Damien was singing.
Oh, Damien when he was singing.
In French.
What was that Kim Possible theme song?
He was singing the iCarly theme song
in French.
And we had the subtitles on, so I saw he was like, some things are meant to be, so give it your best. I was like, what is it? I was like, is that iCarly? Then they said, thank you for singing iCarly in French. I cracked the fuck up. And even him, she doesn't even go here. And how he like faded into the background, that was funny too. That was almost as funny as the original.
I liked him. He was one of my favorite characters. He was
funny. But I was upset when Damien and Janice found out about the party, and it is understandable that they didn't pull up in a car
He put up a
they
little
pulled up
wheelchair,
in a
little motor scooter. Yeah,
in
the
a
motor
hover
scooter,
round.
yeah.
In a hover round. But I think the original was kind of better because, you know, Damien's trying to hurry up because he had a curfew and he wasn't supposed to be using the car for that long. So he was like, hurry up. I want my pink shirt back. Did Damien say it in this one?
He
I
did.
want my pink shirt back?
He did
I don't remember
that.
him saying it. Okay. But the original was just hilarious. It's like, because I'm like, who cares about the wheelchair? Like, did you steal your grandma's wheelchair? The car made sense to me. Like, hey, I need to get out of here because this is, you know, why he didn't stop. And he's just yelling at Katie through the window of his car. But also, I think Janice's speech was better in the original. It was short and to the point. She was like, you know, this Janice said the same thing about you think everyone loves you, but everyone hates you. And then she said it. She was like, because you're a mean girl. You're a bitch. And I'm just like, it was short. It was to the point. I think this Janice's speech was a little more drawn out. But, yeah. And Kevin G was kind of funny.
Eileen was mad. She thought his original song, his original talent show song was a lot better.
Ooh, Kevin G.
It was more or less the same. He just had like the baggies, like 90s outfit or whatever, like early 2000s hip hop and everything, like how everyone were.
I'm a rundown list of phrases that I wish that I missed. They didn't say boo you whore. Remember, she was like, I can't go. I'm sick. Boo, you whore. They didn't say, I just thought about it. Yeah, the whole coach sleeping with the kids thing. Didn't say that. There was something I thought about. I was like, yo, they didn't even say that. They didn't say it. Oh my God, it's Danny DeVito. I remember Damien said that to some one girl because in the original, Damien was in the girl's bathroom talking to Janice and Caddy, and some girl walked in and she's like, you're not supposed to be in here. And he was like, oh my God, Danny DeVito, to the girl, and then she ran off. Like he said, like, oh my God, he called the girl Danny DeVito. And then she ran off. They said the drug pusher line. There's something so iconic that they did not say. Yeah, like I said, if you're from Africa, why aren't you white? Why are you white? They didn't say that.
I think even if they did say all those things, it wouldn't be as funny. Remakes are hard. They're really hard.
Yeah, that's why I think they shouldn't do them.
Give its own original movies. You know, give us all original movies.
Like, they shouldn't do that. You know, unless it's like, I do enjoy, if it's done well, I do enjoy animations into live action remakes. I do enjoy that because it's just seeing it differently.
It depends how they do it.
But if it's still kind of the same thing, why do we need a remake? Please tell me. Just with different, why do we need a remake? But,
so, what would you rank this movie?
See, I kind of struggled with it too because, like I said, I don't think it's a bad movie, but compared to Mean Girls, it ain't it. So, would I ever watch it again? Absolutely not. But I don't think it's bad. But it didn't leave an impression on me whatsoever. So I'll give it a small bag of popcorn.
Yeah, I'll give it a small. I won't give it a milk dud because I think some good songs came out of it. You said it was poppy. You didn't like the poppy, but we're in the poppy world.
Sometimes the songs weren't written well to me. Sometimes I don't know. It just seems some parts of it. Some parts I'd be like, "Ooh, I like that line." I don't like that line. It's a little clunky.
Yeah, when you read a few of Regina's songs, just the lyrics, they sounded kind of surface level. But the music videos that came from the song, from the movie, are top notch in my opinion.
You keep saying music videos.
If you look at like the music video I'm thinking about in particular is the one with Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion does it with, where'd it go?
Renee, what's her name?
Right, and she does Not My Fault. So watch that music video. That's a pretty good music video. Right, and they do a bunch of
But I see that separate from the movie.
It's
that's Renee raps and Megan Thee
But
Stallion
I'm saying it's a product of the movie. Yeah, I think some good songs came from the movie, at least poppy versions, and it's popular on YouTube and stuff. But anyway, I give it a small bag of popcorn. I like I said, I was watching it and I was halfway in it. I was like, oh my god, why am I watching it?
Yeah, it was kind of a chore to watch. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Like, is it over yet?
I kept watching it, and I enjoyed the storyline because the storyline to the original, like, is important, you know? But, yeah. You know, and Lindsay Lohan, she killed that role. You know, I think the role was made.
Oh, yeah. I did enjoy the cameo from Lindsay Lohan.
But I think this new Angourie Rice, right? I thought that she did well. She was cute, you know. I thought she did a good job, but she wasn't Lindsay Lohan, you know. But yeah, I'll give it a small bag of popcorn.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you had a fetch time with us. Don't forget to wear pink on Wednesdays, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Watch That John podcast. You can find us on wherever you find your podcast, and you can watch the movie Mean Girls on Prime Video. Yep,
Amazon
with a
Prime,
Paramount Plus
Prime
subscription.
Video.
So thank you for listening, and
you could also rent it one time. That's what we did. We rented it.
Okay.
And I think you can rent it. I think the rentals are like for a month. So
okay. Well, until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.